Hello, this is Bino. I'm an arborist and a tree climber specialist. What I like to do on my channel is share tree climbing tips with beginners and experts. What I plan to do today is make a knee ascender. I've had this ascender for a while. It's a chest ascender and it's just been sitting around and haven't done anything with it. I first bought it because I was going to use it for SRS, and I found that you can't just use it by itself. It's got to be used with something else. So I came across it again. I'm like, wow, I was going to make a knee ascender and I never did. So that's what we're going to do today. I have I only bought a couple of things because most of the stuff I already had on hand. The first thing that I bought a while back ago was some bungee. It was a little bit smaller diameter, and I like it. Really stretches pretty good. But then I went to Home Depot the other day and I saw these tie downs, and I like that they're like a little bit thicker and they felt like they had more stretch to it. So I took it apart, and this will be my bungee portion that I'm going to use. I'll definitely need a lighter for melting the ends. And I had another project that I worked on a while back ago where I bought this cord. It doesn't really have to be rated, but this is a cord that's rated at 3 kilonewtons. It's a rock climbing cord. I bought it at REI. Also then, here we have the chest ascender that's a locking. So that'll be the main part. I went and bought a boat clip. There's what I have are Pro Andrew boots, and they have a loop for me to snap a knee ascender in. So that's what I'm gonna make it to with a boat clip. Also had a trigger snap that I already had. That'll be the part where I'll connect the bungee and I'll put it to my maybe chesty, or maybe to my climbing system. I'll have a rope so I can mark the knots that I'm going to use. Definitely need some scissors, and I have a measuring tape to try to figure out how long my tether is going to be. All right, with that, let's get to it. The boot that I have is an Pro Andrew, and it has a loop here for a knee ascender. So what I've already done is from the top of the boot to the top of my knee, in level with my knee, I measure the length that I feel I'd want my knee ascender to be. So the pre-measurement that I have is a 16-inch length. So I want the from the clip to the top of my ascender to fall within the 16 inches. So I got to count for about 4 inches for the ascender, and then the snap is about 3 inches. But also from the top of the loop, it was another 2 inches. So if I account for the 2 inches for the loop on the boot, and then the snap, that's about 5 inches, and then the 4 inches for my ascender, this is about the length of my tether from here to here. So I think it's about that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6.5 inch tether. So that's what I'll work on first. I'll get this rope, measure it out. Now I can't just measure it out. What I'm going to use are double fisherman bends. Now I got to figure out how much I need for each double fisherman's bend, how much length I'll need for each of those, so I could figure out, the length of my tether. Well, I'll probably use about an inch of that. So let me see here. Get that, and I'll kind of bring it down. That'll probably fit on the. Well, maybe let me go a little bit wider here. I'm not actually putting it on there just yet. So we'll say it's going to be about that long. So then I'm gonna get my tape here, and I'm gonna mark it for my first knot, just so I don't lose track of that. That's about how long my knot's going to be here. Let's mark it there. Now, well, let me measure this out. Hang on. What I'll need for the first length of the knot, let me see here. So from this point to this point is about 9 inches. Okay, so I'll measure from that 9, and then I'll do my measurement here, because this is about where it's going to be here. So I guess my tether length will probably be, okay, from here to here, maybe an 8-inch tether length. Now from this point right here, I'll have to do my 9 inches for the length of my knot. So I think about right here. So let me mark this off. I'll put that here. I think this is about where I'm going to cut the line, and that'll be my starting point. So I might as well go ahead and cut my line. Let's see. Okay. All right. I'm going to burn the tip real quick because I don't want it to run on me. Let me get this off real quick. We don't need that. Melt that in so it stays nice. We don't want it to run. All right. Let me melt this in too because we don't want this to fray. When I put it back on the spool, I don't want it to fray on me. All right, get this one out of the way. Don't need it anymore. All right. That's about the length that I'll have. Next, I'll put it together. So now that I've measured the tether that I want, it's about, for the piece of cord that I'm going to use, is about 26 inches in length. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll attach it to the bottom of the chest ascender, and I'm going to use a double fisherman's bend. That way, to me, I like the way it'll sit in place. Let me put that there, and I'm going to kind of use a little bit of length there. I'll snug it up. Now this, it shouldn't get in the way of the rope. This little bit of cord, it should be small enough for the rope to flow through here once I put it in. Now on the other end here, I'll go through the eye of the boat clip, and now I'm going to figure out the 8 inches. So I'll go from here and to about right here. I'll make my loop there. Oh, so maybe I had a lot of extra. We'll see if that works. And I'll throw it in here. Maybe I'll make it a, there we go. I don't know if you could see that very well. All right. Now I'm going to snug that up. It's a little bit more than 8, but I'll work with that and see what happens. If it will be the length that I want. Let me see. Let me go off to my boot here. Let me go out to the side here. I'll throw the clip, boat clip into my loop, and I'll bring it. Oh yeah, so that's probably about where I'll want it. So maybe it was longer than 8, but I think I'll give that a try. So the next thing I'll do is go out to the tree to set up the bungee. I'll get a rope in the tree, we'll get it set up, and I'll work on connecting the bungee and getting the right length of the bungee. Now we're out by the tree. I have my climbing system set up. So what I'll do is I'll attach the bungee cord to the chest ascender using a double fisherman's bend. So get that set up. There you go, the double fisherman's bend. Boom. Okay. I don't want it to be too small. This time too long, so I'll cinch it up tight. That should be enough room for the rope to go through. Now what I'm going to do is connect the clip to my boot. I'll get my climbing system connected to me, and then I'm going to pull the rope, make it tight, put pressure on it. Okay, then I'll get my clip and I'll connect it to the becket where I'll connect the knee ascender to. And what I'm going to do is zero out the bungee kind of really tight to where, you know, where I max it out the most. Okay, so I'll pull it, make it tight. Now what I'll do is I'll grab to this point right here and I'll disconnect this, and that's where I'll make the double fisherman's. So I'll tie that on, and then I'll do my double fisherman's here. Hopefully I don't lose too much when I'm doing this. Alright, I'll snug that up. Alright, now that I have that connected, let me grab my gloves, make it tight. Now I'll reconnect this back to the center becket where I normally like to climb with it. Connect it there. Now I'll connect my chesty to the same becket, and then I'll use my foot ascender to take a step up, and then I'll connect the knee ascender and see if it works. Alrighty. Throw the foot ascender in. Pop it on. Get some weight off the line. Alright, I'm off the ground. Connect this knee ascender, the chest ascender. Oh, actually knee ascender now. Connect it. And see if it works. And disconnect it. Disconnect my foot and come back down. Well, that looked like it worked fairly decent. It worked fairly decent with one bungee, but what I've done is just added a secondary bungee. Wanted to see if that would maybe make it a little bit quicker. And I think if it doesn't work well with the double bungee, I'll go back to the single one, and I'm thinking that'll work pretty decent for me. So I'll throw the chesty on, then I'll do my foot ascender and get off the ground. Alrighty, get the knee ascender, open it up, throw it on, and then yeah, moving fairly decent. Yeah, actually worked pretty well. Pretty darn good. I think I'll leave it with the double bungee. And for me, what's pretty good about this is that if my regular knee ascender goes, I could just keep this in my bag and have it handy at any time. It's something that I can really make small and probably just leave it in my bag or even on my side bag. It's a little bit smaller than like a Saka or a Haas Velox. And I think if I needed it in a pinch, it'd be a great thing to have. Well, there you have it. The way I would put together a knee ascender, just using bungee cord, a couple of different types of clips, and a chest ascender, and having just a little rope tether. Actually, it worked pretty well, and I think it's a nice thing for me to have as like a backup for my other knee ascender. But I think for people who are maybe interested in getting one and maybe they have some of this stuff on hand, maybe they can put it together, see if they like the feeling of a knee ascender before you really go and buy one of those already made up ascenders. Or you might like using it in this way. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you like what we do. And by all means, share our video. Take care. We'll see you next time.